Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how I took my intercooler piping and had to make a custom intercooler piping for my Nova, and you get this nice bevel lip from when you buy these pieces. They come in all different shapes, and 45s and 60 degrees and 90s and straights, and so when you end up cutting them to length for whatever you're building, you lose the bevel on one side. So I made a tool, a C-clamp and an exhaust clamp, so that it would put a nice bevel. Now, I did this one a little bit, and you can see it makes a really nice even bevel on it, so you can put your silicone coupler on it and your T-bolt clamp, and it'll never pop off. And on my Nova, I haven't had mine pop off. I'm running about 18 pounds of boost, and this thing is working great, and it doesn't leak, no boost leaks or anything like that. So I know some guys, I've seen tricks where they take the wire cutters, or wire crimpers I should say, and they go around the whole thing, and it works, but it just doesn't look as clean and nice as this, or as you get it from when you buy them. So basically just took a C-clamp and welded an exhaust clamp to it, 3-inch exhaust clamp, and then I made a die for it and welded the die on the bottom. And you have to match the radius of the die so that it matches the radius of the exhaust clamp, so that it puts even pressure when you're pressing this on there. Otherwise, if it's too pointy, you'll see the points in the center, or if it's too flat, you'll see the ends poke up. And you just got to play around with it when you do make one, or if you want to make one, and then you can get it so it's nice and even. Just take a little bit off. You'll have to do some test panels. That's what I had to do. I made some test panels, and this is just some scrap I have laying around. I was testing out the hole for my blow-off valve to get that welded. That's why there's a hole in this one like that. But so I didn't cut this one nice or anything for demonstration purposes. I thought it would be just fine, but I'll show you how the tool works and how simple and easy it was to make, and it's a nice little added tool for your toolbox. I'll get you mounted up here on the camera. So basically you want this C-clamp, you don't want it in too far, you don't want it out too far. I like to level this off a little bit so that working with a flat surface. I did mark this. I kind of had this set up a little bit beforehand, doing some test runs. But what I like to do is take my 3/4 inch tape and put it on the edge like this, all the way around. And that sets a nice straight line around. Now this piece of pipe I have isn't exactly cut straight, but it'll work. So then what you do, now I got a nice straight line. Then I'll take another piece of 3/4 inch tape and run it right next to it. And then this is actually my guide I'm going to use on the exhaust clamp. Alright, then you can take this one off. Now that's set my 3/4 inch depth that I want. I find that 3/4 inch depth is just perfect for this. So then, put it in there. I leveled it so that I'm using the jaws of the vise for a stop. I know this piece isn't cut straight, but if this piece was cut straight, it'd work better. But, so now, you can kind of tighten this up so that it kind of holds it in, but you don't need to tighten it. You don't want it super tight on there. You still want to be able to turn it. So now I'm lining up the edge of my tape with the edge of the exhaust clamp, and that determines my straight line. Let's see, snug it up just a little bit, and then clamp it down. Give it a turn, and you'll figure it out after a while, depending on how the bar is on the C-clamp, to see how far you want to turn it to stamp it, to how deep of a stamp you want in it. Because I know you don't need a lot of a throat on it. So then just turn it a little bit. It is a little bit intuitive. It does help to have a second pair of hands that I could hold it and then you could have someone else spin it. But definitely could do it by yourself. Once you get it set, and just give it a turn. Do it again. Go around the whole thing. And a little bit, turn it just a little bit. You could mark it so that you know how many times or exactly where you got to go each time. I'm pushing down when I loosen it. I'm pushing down to try to keep that inside die in the groove. And then you can tell when you're out of it. Now, kind of losing my straight line here, but I'm trying to fake it as I go. Again, I didn't have a straight piece of cut on here, which is, it's hitting on the back side, which I'm kind of, wow, going crooked a little bit too. But see how I'm doing. I mean, you can, I mean, I'm going a little too far actually, but I mean, you could mark it, you could make a clock up here so that you know when to stop it, but I mean, it's making a nice straight line. You know, if you look at this side, it's probably got, I don't know, 3/16 deep on there. I mean, I'm a lot more than that on here, but I mean, you can see how nicely it's just making it. Then I'd come back and clean up anything. You know, you don't, since I went so deep on it, this lip is protruding down into the airstream, so I guess you wouldn't want that per se, so that would create kind of a turbulence problem inside of there. But I would come back and clean this up with a burr and try to make this as true as possible in here to make less restriction in it. So it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple, inexpensive tool. I mean, yeah, it's a C-clamp, and then I mean, this is only a couple bucks and a piece of metal laying around, and it makes a really nice straight line. So it's a little deep, but like I said, I would like to do a little modification to it and make a bar right here so that when I am in here, I can hold this right straight, and I'd have a nice straight line on the back side, and then create something on the top side of this so that I know where to stop every single time evenly. And but I mean, it's not rocket science either. You're just building an intercooler pipe, so you can just do it by feel. So, but I'd just like to share this little tool. That's a nice addition to the toolbox. And there's another piece that I did that was probably not as deep. That's probably what results we're really looking for. So I finish this side, but you can tell how nice and even this side is now, just like this side when you buy the kit. So pretty simple. All right, thanks.